Welcome to the show that's all about the week's most unhinged leftist moments. The program kicks off with a strange stunt involving activists unfurling a giant trans pride flag at Yosemite National Park, claiming it's meant to prove that being transgender is natural. They link this to species that can change sex in the animal kingdom. The move was not authorized, and the flag was later removed. Things only get stranger as a disabled, transgender, Muslim, pro-Palestinian activist gives a fiery and chaotic speech that seems more like a sketch comedy than a protest. His self-description and long-winded cries for justice are received with polite applause, despite the over-the-top rhetoric. Next, a woman goes viral for screaming about how she's tired of being called a Karen by Trump supporters. She insists the real Karens are the Trump followers, flipping the insult with remarkable irony. Then comes a woman who formerly voted Democrat her entire life, but after finding herself surrounded by gang violence, she switched sides and now supports Trump, crediting him for cracking down on crime that Democrats ignored. A clip from the Department of Homeland Security shows Trump gleefully saying "bye-bye" to deported illegal immigrants, a video that seems tailor-made for MAGA fans. The segment then transitions to Megyn Kelly grilling CNN's Jake Tapper over his role in covering up President Biden's cognitive decline. She calls out Tapper's selective coverage of a damning Wall Street Journal article, highlighting media complicity in protecting Biden. When Tapper claims he supported the journalists behind the article, Kelly pushes back hard, reminding him that he had previously allowed Democrats to discredit it on air. Tapper, previously a key promoter of the Russian collusion narrative, is now pushing for transparency on Trump's health, an ironic twist given his past behavior. Meanwhile, WNBA star Brittany Griner, once swapped for the Merchant of Death, is caught seemingly mouthing an expletive aimed at white girls. She also gives a bizarre post-game interview. The Minnesota Lynx then hold a moment of silence for George Floyd, whom the host harshly criticizes, bringing up his criminal record and suggesting that honoring him undermines his victims. Vice President Kamala Harris traveled to Australia to speak at a real estate conference. Attendees paid thousands to hear her, but she delivered her usual confusing word salads, rehashing cliches like, "they're unburdened by what has been." At one point, she oddly segues into a discussion about Playboy magazine and human reproduction, leaving the audience baffled. She also brags about never hearing the word no, saying she eats no for breakfast, seemingly oblivious to the fact that voters rejected her presidential run. The Nelk boys prank a couple by pretending their daughter is dating an obnoxious, overly woke guy who is terrified of MAGA hats and drives a Tesla. The prank climaxes when he freaks out over a fascist vehicle and yells about AI before revealing it was all a joke. The parents are visibly relieved. A flashback shows the Democrat leadership taking a knee in Congress in honor of George Floyd just 5 years ago. The host mocks the performative gestures and recalls the widespread riots and destruction of that era. The discussion shifts to The View, which is now being told by ABC and Disney to tone down their political hysteria. But Whoopi Goldberg still falsely claims Trump had never honored Gold Star families, ignoring previous events and endorsements. Joy Behar calls Trump a rambler and claims he walks into walls. Ana Navarro says she only finds peace when outside the country, away from Trump. Behar also says she'd rather choke than be saved by a Trump supporter, and her phone rings mid-show. Meanwhile, actress Kyra Sedgwick gives an emotional interview claiming she fears women will lose their right to vote, a concern the host mocks as ridiculous. She adds worries about food banks and Social Security, showing just how deep Hollywood panic runs. Jennifer Lopez joins the mix with a flashy, cringe-worthy performance and odd kisses during a concert. The host reminds us of Lopez's past political statements about Trump, noting her ex was embroiled in serious controversies she never warned the public about. A viral clip shows French President Emmanuel Macron getting a double slap from his wife Brigitte, although he denies it. Finally, 60 Minutes anchor Scott Pelley delivers an alarmist graduation speech, claiming that journalism, education, and freedom of speech are all under attack in Trump's America, ending the show with one last dose of elite media hysteria. Let me know if you'd like a shorter or expanded version.